My name is Derek Smith. I'm a fill-in dad for the Debs that need a father to dance with. I also assist with the dance steps and teaching the fathers certain things like the box step, balancing, etc.
My name is Amani. I'm one of the Debs participating in this program this year.
Well, my first experience with the Cotillion, I was working at Kentland Community Center, and my director of the teen night, she asked me to be a volunteer as a fill-in dad for the teen Cotillion. So when I came and started practicing, I automatically fell in love with it.
Well, I'm gonna start off by saying first, I didn't want to do it. But now that I come here every Thursdays, I'm meeting new people here. The girls that I'm dancing with, they're really cool. I really like it. I really enjoy coming. The dance is actually very cool. I think when May comes, I think we're gonna look good.
Just seeing the kids and how rewarding it was for the young ladies to a partner to dance with.
When I found out I needed a partner, I kind of was stuck because the whole idea of dancing with a stranger, I just didn't want to do that because I'm so to myself and I don't When I met Mr. Derek and he was telling me that he's been dancing here for a long time, I kind of was okay with it because I was going to take his lead. If he knew what he was doing, I was just going to watch him.
When we started learning, dancing was kind of up my alleys.
And me and him actually clicked very well because he's always teaching me new steps and he can actually dance.
And usually I try to instantly bond with them so they can feel comfortable. Being with a strange man is not always comfortable, so.
I had no choice but to dance with him, but I didn't know him, he didn't know me. I like things perfect. I didn't want him to mess up. I didn't want to mess up. But now that I come here every Thursdays, I'm getting used to him. I'm getting used to dancing with him. He's actually cool. Actually, his daughter's birthday, the same day as my birthday. So we always talking about stuff when we're dancing. He makes me feel comfortable and not weird. It's like he's one of my fathers, actually. It's like he's a father to me because, he always interacts with me and, we just be dancing. Like I said, we have conversations here and there, we laugh, and yeah. Thank you for being my dance partner, and we're gonna do good, okay?
Well, I found out after my first year that they always need fill-in dads, and after experiencing the Cotillion for the first time ever in my life, to see that night and how elegant it is, and just how upscale it is. Everything is top notch. Parking planning don't hold anything back as far as expense when it comes to the Cotillion, and it was just such a beautiful event. I definitely wanted to be a part of it. I was so addicted to seeing the kids' faces that night. It was a bunch of tears, and starting at day one where they all strangers and everybody's to themselves, to that night, and they making lifetime friends and possibly networking for the future. It's just so much more than the Cotillion itself.
My name is Freddie Colston. I do not work at the Rec Center, but I am a volunteer at the Marlow Heights Community Center.
My name is Katrina Thomas. This is my 16th year being a volunteer / assistant dance instructor.
All right, well, I'm Greg Gordon. I work for the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission here at Palmer Park Community Center, preparing our teen Cotillion for the 2019 Cotillion. I put on every one. This is my 21st one. So from start to finish, yes, I've done every dance for the Cotillions.
My name is Linda Peace, and I'm a volunteer for the Cotillion.
Hey, my name is Patricia Anglin, and I've been volunteering for probably more than 10 years.
My first experience at the Cotillion, I was working teen nights at Kentland Community Center, and Lenore Harper asked me would I like to participate and be a volunteer. And at first I was a little apprehensive, but I already work with teens, so I just jumped on in. My first Cotillion, I believe I was 23, and I'm 47 now. I think. I don't know if the math is right or not, so don't quote me on that. I was in my early 20s though.
Well, actually, what got me started, one of the young ladies, Susan Jennifer, who was the head dance instructor in the very beginning of the Cotillion, along with Greg Gordon.
When I was asked to come help him in 1998 from a coworker of mine, Mr. Oscar Phillips, he's the one who pretty much brought us to park and planning. In the past, I've done the ones for the District of Columbia where Oscar and I both work. So I did 16 of them there. When I came to park and planning, he asked, could I help them? Did I think we could pull it off? And yes, we did. So 21 years later, yes.
And she called me up like 2 weeks before the Cotillion, and one of the young men needed a mom to present him. So I told her I would, fill in, and then of course she walked me through several of the dance routines so I could be ready for rehearsal.
My first experience, I was working for the commission part-time, and I was the camera person, so I did your job. I had the opportunity to take pictures and videotape the kids, so that was nice. That's how I started, and then I kept putting the camera down to help out with the dance, and so I ended up completely putting the camera down and volunteering to dance and help out in that way.
My first experience with the Cotillions was when I was asked to come, I said it about 10 or 12 years ago. I was asked to come and volunteer, and I've been there ever since. I've enjoyed it. I've gotten to know a lot of the staff members here, and they don't forget me because they call me every year to come back.
My first experience was in 1998, the very first one. When we first started off, our very first Cotillion for the commission was held at a community center, the South Bowie Community Center to be exact. So we've grown a long ways. We've come from South Bowie Community Center to Kettering-Largo Community Center to where we are now, which is at Martin's Crosswind.
My first experience in the Cotillion was 20 years ago. I forgot what the year it was. It was Marla Heights Community Center. Had one young lady who did not have a father figure to dance with or to rehearse with. So the mother asked me, or at least the mother told me, I'll go dance with her daughter. And so I've been hooked ever since. I danced with her. Matter of fact, I danced with 3 of her daughters 3 years in a row. After that, I've just been hooked on volunteering every year to come back here to make a difference.
One of my most memorable experiences it's Cotillion night or Cotillion day. The event is happening, and I forgot to put on deodorant that day, so we have to do a lot of turns with our arms up, and it wasn't a pleasant smell. So I'll go ahead and embarrass myself. Y'all can laugh at that if you want, but that's my most memorable experience is that year I forgot to put on deodorant.
My most memorable experience at the Cotillion was when the first young lady I danced with, she came back after she had graduated from college, and she surprised me as a guest. And she said, I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life, and thank you for leading me to the path where I chose to take. And I always remember that it was quite an experience for that. And I realized that we do make a difference. I made a difference, although I thought just showing up and dancing and rehearsing is just something to do. But I realized from looking at her that I really do make a difference by being here. So I have to be here every year.
But my most memorable, I was in it in '07, where again, 2 weeks before the Cotillion, a young lady dropped out, one of the Debs, and I was called on to be the world's oldest Deb and to be a dance partner for one of the Bows. So I actually had to dress up like a Deb.
I really enjoyed this. It's been very memorable for me. I even had my grandson and my nephew involved one year, which made it was very fulfilling for them and for me. And I know a lot of other teenagers who have been involved, and some have even gotten part-time jobs here with Maryland Park and Planning, and they continue to volunteer.
I guess one of the most memorable experiences I had was dancing with one of the students. He didn't have a female figure in his life that he could dance with, so I stepped in to dance with him, and that was nice. We both learned about each other, we had a really good time, and it fulfilled an opportunity for me and him. So.
Well, I actually, through all these years, I look forward to this every year to, you know, fill in where I can. You know, you become, there are bonds that are made through these 16 weeks. So at the end, you know, I felt that, you know, I contributed something to a young person, and also they've even gotten something from me. So that's really the most rewarding that I get. And then of course, at the end, everybody's dressed up, and it's like the icing on the cake. So well worth it. Well worth the 16 weeks.
I fell in love with working with the kids, working with the parents, but most of all, to seeing these young ladies and young men mold themselves into a credit to the community. They will leave here, they will go to college, and they will come back as a productive citizen. And so I think I got to be part of the solution or part of the problem. Being part of the problem, sitting at home, pointing at them and not trying to solve the problem. The solution is that showing up every Thursday night and being here as a volunteer to teach some more how to dance.
I just encourage all parents to reach out to anybody in their family or anybody in their community and tell them about the Teen Cotillion, because it's such a phenomenal event. They learn so much as far as etiquette and interviewing, and it's so much more than just dancing. And this is something they can put on a college resume, say they experienced. They get a lot out of the program. So I encourage everyone to just reach out to family members and get them to participate in something like this, because it's just a phenomenal event.
Yes, they did let me dance and taught me a few things, but it was all about the program. It's a very good program to help young people grow, and they develop leadership skills, they get closer to their families. I've watched families go through different siblings, and so that brings me back.